Good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you are on this planet, I'm sending you love and light. Check me out. I hope y'all understand that you don't even really know what time is. Back in the day, the King Augustus, this motherfucker added an extra month. And if you think about Julius Caesar, Julius Caesar added an extra month, bro. Back in the days, we didn't do time calculations like we do now. The point of this is you don't really know your own age. You don't even really know the truth, bro. Like, a lot of this paganism, a lot of this came from the Romans, a lot of this came from the Greeks, a lot of this came from past civilizations in terms of time, the months, but also religion as well. And when you really think about religion itself, it's a control protocol, bro. Ever since thousands of years, you've had these people who have supposedly been enlightened, right? People who would go into the cave, come out and tell the villagers, you know what I'm saying, the truth from God, supposedly, right? Y'all can't go in there. I got to cover my face to go in there, but I'm the chosen one, right? And people would just go for this shit. Now, I mean, literally, people would just go for this shit. So people been like twisting time, twisting religion, twisting your minds, basically since we could even speak and conceive narratives, stories. Like, men are some of the most notorious storytellers. In fact, we're the best at it. Men in general. And it's kind of messed up because you can kind of see who the cause of all of this. Now, I want to talk on commandments. So we know that this is a control protocol. What is a commandment? Command men. Command the mind. Spiritually, from a godly perspective, what is a testament? What is your testament? Test the men. Test the mind. Testament, bro. Hell is low, right? This is why you got Helios, right? So when you start going into like Greek mythology, you know, you can kind of see all of the correlations between Christianity, Catholicism, all of these religions. If you line them up, you will find parallels. Now, hell is low. This is the reptilian mind. You could actually see the red, obviously, in Helios. And you can see the red in hell. You could also see the red in your chakra. That's the lower part of yourself. So when you think in terms of allegory, metaphors, climbing the pyramid, right? Pyramid scheme, you have to climb out of hell. Heaven and hell is literally in the mind. When you die, what gets you to that other realm, if you believe in such a thing, if you can conceive it, your mind essentially led you there. Hell and heaven is eternal. As above, so below. Now, this goes back into some other forms of worship that were derived out of evil. The whole as above, so below. But there's also a good spectrum to that concept, because it's not just the concept. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. Now, here's the thing. How do you implement heaven on earth? The mind, bro. A lot of these kings, when it comes to religion specifically, right? Because it's a lot to unpack in this video. When it comes to religion specifically, it was a political game back in the day, right? Kings and queens couldn't even read or write. They had scribes for that shit. So you telling me, if I'm a king, if I'm a scribe and you're a king and you're telling me some shit that I don't agree with and I know you ain't going to be able to read it, you don't think I would change something? We already got actual evidence that there was over 100 people who rewrote the Bible. The point of this, you don't know what time it is. You don't really know what day it is. You don't know how old you are. And none of us really know the full truth about God. Some of us got some insight. I have insight. I have insider information. I've been in certain circles and groups of people who have confirmed certain things that I've already discovered on my life's journey, as far as if we're thinking in terms of the spiritual path. So I reevaluate my belief system. I'm not going to gravitate to things that reinforce my echo chamber and just solidify my beliefs. I challenge my beliefs. So I wasn't just in certain circles around certain groups like Masons and things of this nature. I wasn't just like around those guys to like seeking confirmation. I was seeking conflict. I was looking for a conflict with my train of thought. I was looking for conflict within theirs. What I was able to find out is a lot of the things that they talk about, I ain't going to say it's truth. I'm going to say you can see how it's running the planet. For example, even Jesus dying at 33. It's 33 vertebrae in your spine. It's 33 degrees to being a Mason. Y'all don't see the correlation. So even the Masonic Brotherhood at the highest levels of order are in part controlling your religion. Listen, you got to really understand, you don't know what day it is. You don't really know what time it is. You don't really know your age, and you don't really know God. You only know what they told you. Everything is perspective. There is not one person on this planet, bro. You can look up Augustus. You can look up Julius Caesar. You can look up the months. You can see how all of this was changed over time. And when one civilization came to an end and it was destroyed or taken over, that civilization that roamed through there to change that shit is now in control of the life narrative. Do you understand? This has been happening for thousands of years, bro. Do you know the truth? Like, what I find so interesting is back in the day. So Jesus, the Son walking on water, is a metaphor. Back in the day, I believe it was the Greeks, but these guys, they observed during the winter solstice that the sun would disappear for 3 days, right? And at a certain point in time during this time in December, when it disappeared, it would then slowly start to rise. So their allegory was astrology. It was derived from astrology, much like most spirituality to this day. It was in part derived from the observation, being a witness of the universe, bro. And they're putting this shit together. Jesus, the Son walking on water. When you are looking past the horizon at the ocean, the end of the ocean, that line, and as the sun starts rising up, it looks as though the sun is walking on water. Kings made up these stories. It is political and a control device. But this is where it gets really creepy, bro. There's clearly been tampering with history, time, and God. But there's also clearly a God. There's clearly a creator. There's some weird stuff. I'm about to drop this other jewel on y'all, because there's some weird stuff that happened. So people have been known to be around for a little over 300,000 years, bro. 300,000. After a little over 100,000 years, there was an advancement in our race, in our species, right? So we went from crawling on the ground to walking upright. This is a genetic modification. Now we go through another 100,000 years, bro. And all of a sudden we get another jump in our mental capacities. So now we're creating out of nowhere, couple 100,000 years of existence, and overnight we just start creating pyramids and all this technology and stuff. We start coming up with religions and politics. Bro, that's not human, bro. So something was holding our hand. Now you can call it aliens or angels. I happen to believe that it's both. Something's entertaining, if it's an alien entertaining an angel or an angel entertaining an alien, doesn't matter. It's basically the same shit. Don't go for that trick right there. All y'all need to know is that there has to have been a creator at some point in time holding our hand. Every human is born a baby. Humans couldn't survive. So the first man and woman had to be adults, which is weird in itself. And that tells you humans weren't always what we are now. It is actually impossible if you look at all of the history, bro. If you look at the history, bro, and just, it's common sense. Something tampered with us. Something created us. And something else is going on that you could call and perceive to be good and evil. We're lost in confusion. The devil's a trickster, bro. I'm gone.